It's the 27th meeting between the two schools. Rutgers leads at 14-12. Prior to last year, Rutgers had won 8 in a row from 1974 to 1981. Steve Worthy goes inside to Phillips, back to Worthy for 3. Nice start for Worthy.
Well, in a consolation game or third place, if you want to be politically correct, it's still a consolation game. Getting off to a good start is important, and Worthy, after that impressive 27 against the Wildcats of Kentucky, that is an impressive start. And he was a little bit beyond that three-point line.
Marshall missing inside. Rebound comes down to Worthy. Chuck Weiler did start in the middle. Weiler was bothered, Bucky, by a strained buttocks in the last game.
Well said. He was dragging his team all the way. I'll tell you, against Kentucky, he earned it. He spent a good deal of the night on the floor. Kentucky, a team that picks you up all over with great depth and great conditioning. Rutgers just couldn't match it. Worthy had to stay out there a long time, and I thought performed extremely well.
Last foul was on Phillips of Rutgers. This is Edwards outside the Bullock. Edwards had a good ball game with 16 against St. John's. Weiler with the defensive board. And here comes Damon Santiago, who is getting over a touch of the flu. He's practiced only twice in the last 7 days. Ooh, a strong follow by Weiler.
Boy, that belongs in a highlight film at both ends. Weiler could have drilled that block into the seats and given Manhattan a possession out of bounds, but he tapped it gently, converted it into a break, and the big guy round the floor and collected.
Marshall missing the follow, gets his own rebound, and he is fouled on the play by the Scarlet Knights. Let's watch Weiler.
A big guy's trucking. This shot catches iron. And Weiler, who started the whole thing with a reject and a nice soft rebound, makes the move, takes it off the rim. Boy, you love to see those big guys run the floor like that.
Loose ball picked up by Mike Jones. 2-on-2 break to Worthy. Oh, look at the extension. No basket. Offensive foul.
And a technical.
And a technical foul on Worthy. Well, that one would go in the highlight film regardless of whether it went in or not. But it will not count. And Worthy gets the tee.
Remember this year
at the other end.
And that counts as a personal foul as well in the 5. So it's become very expensive to not be well disciplined out there. And that is a fact that Coach Bob Wenzel is making at this point with his team.
So Williams will shoot the free throw. He'll have 2. Chris makes the first. Player technical, 2 shots.
I think Wenzel has to be pleased. The club is running well. The big guys are blocking. They're filling the lane. That was a judgment. Many times when that defender is right under the net, as he was in that instance, it's a no call. But Worthy's just got to accept that. He's too valuable for this team.
And you said one of the keys coming out of a loss is getting out of the gate, having a good start. Rutgers was up 5-zip before that technical. Here's Edwards, and he is fouled. And the other day, I was trying to figure out who Edwards reminded me of. It's a fellow by the name of Brian Reese, who's now in North Carolina, also a New York product. He's got that long, big first step, almost like a kangaroo step.
That's a good analogy. Good shot of Coach Rochella. He's got a nice club. Inherited from Steve Lapidus, who moved on to Villanova, but has done a nice job with him.
Brian Reese out of Palatine High School in New York, no longer in existence, but one of the great powerhouses for many years. Edwards in and out. And a rebound to Weiler. Rutgers up by 3. 18-minute mark, first half. Santiago. Outside to Worthy. Worthy just oozing with confidence. Jones follows it and puts it in. That's where he's dangerous.
Really interesting the way he turned back into the defense. Most times players will keep their chest on the end line and their back to the defense, but he had to turn back in and got away with it. Many times that'll cause you to eat the ball.
Jones is a 6'8 player and a 6'4 body. Bullock missing. Marshall rebound. Puts it back and it drops. And a basket counts. And Jamal Marshall will go to the free throw line. Chance for a 3-point play.
Down inside, Bullock. This is where he has to perform for Manhattan. Again, with that soft little shot. I thought many times last night or Monday night he could have made a power move to the basket. But the finger roll hangs up there this time. Marshall, of course, played about 24 minutes against St. John's. And part of the reason for that was that the St. John's front line, and Charnel Scott in particular, was very assertive and put some pressure on the defense, got some quick fouls on Marshall, and that was a very important factor at the end of the game.
Rutgers basketball up by 2. Token pressure from the Jaspers. Santiago back to Worthy. Birmingham was charged with the foul on the other end, his first. Santiago connects. Damon Santiago, who did not play well. No points, 0 for 4 in 29 minutes against Kentucky, but he was bothered by the flu, and he gets off much better here. Birmingham, transfer from Brooklyn College, who has fit in nicely for the Jaspers. Edwards outside to Bullock. Perfect name for him, go Bulls. Edwards for 3. Kept alive underneath and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Rutgers.
Both teams very poised, playing good aggressive defense.
Andre Lamoureux in the ball game for the Scarlet Knights in the pivot. And a timeout called. Chris Williams couldn't inbound the ball. And he looks down at the Manhattan bench and calls for time. 9-5 Rutgers, first half from the Garden.
Going to his fluid supplement early. Looks like he's already bottomed it.
Manhattan on the inbound. That is back court.
Oh my.
9-5 Rutgers with the lead. Phillips, Worthy, Jones, Santiago, and Lamoureux on for the Scarlet Knights.
Oh, that was not a pretty sight for Manhattan. They cost him a timeout, and coming out of the timeout, they lose the inbound pass.
Remember, you can throw it into the backcourt if it goes all the way there on a fly. Jamal Phillips to Steve Worthy. Back to Phillips, posting up against Bullock. Rebound Lamoureux. He puts it in. They call him Dre, and he goes to the bucket and allow a chance for a three-point play.
It's interesting. They're not coming off of Worthy. They respect his outside shot, so that's giving the inside players plenty of time underneath. Ooh, good tip. See how he kept it up there? Lamoureux didn't bring it down. Kept it right up. Good quick bounce right back up. Nice move. All you young aspiring front court players, the worst thing you can do is bring it down, and the really worst thing you can do is then put it on the floor, because then you let all those little people play with it.
Lamoureux made the free throw. Rutgers with 12.7 coming on second chance points thus far. They have a 7-point lead. Williams over to Birmingham. He penetrates. Good strong move.
Boy, the Manhattan guards both have size and explosive first steps. That's a nice looking ball club.
Worthy for 3. Off the mark, not close at all. And now it's Chris Williams. I think Rutgers saw him in their sleep throughout the entire summer. Bullock, there's a nice touch from Keith Bullock, the 6'7" senior, averaging almost 19 per game.
I like to see guys with bodies like that go to the basket more. The point we've made several times about Charnel Scott, he really did against Manhattan. Caused all kind of problems, played a big game, got him in foul trouble, and helped St. John's get in the winner's circle.
Good move by Jamal Phillips. Jamal was not much of an offensive threat against Kentucky. Took only 2 shots, finished with 4 points.
Well, Lamoureux out there overplaying at the top of the key.
Edwards missing. Lamoureux helping underneath. And here's Santiago in transition for Rutgers. A much crisper Rutgers club, and a blocking foul is called on Chris Williams.
Weiler and Lamoureux both impressive so far at the center spot for the Scarlet Knights. They come with 3, perhaps even 4 different centers. They can waste a lot of fouls, and each one gives you a little different look.
Steve Worthy is out, and Donnell Lumpkin is in. The 3-point threat. Santiago whips it around to Mike Jones.
That looked like a Billy Kilmer pass. It's kind of going with an east-west rotation.
A little bit of that wiggle, huh?
Yeah. Wonk, wonk, wonk.
Good defense by Jones. Forces the turnover. Santiago in transition. Gets it to Jones, and he is fouled. 2 shots. It's on Bullock. And for youngsters out there, the bounce pass is the pass you want to receive when you're running the floor.
From 15 feet in, Bruce, there's no question in my mind, unless you're throwing the alley-oop. But you just put that ball on the floor. If they get it at all, it's going to be with their feet. Oh, good pressure. And the Scarlet Knights are running. Santiago, who performed so well against Duke, puts a perfect bounce pass, but just not looked into hands at all. So many times assists are screwed up just because the receiver does not look the ball into his hand. That time, Jones should have had that ball and slammed it. Took his eye off it right at the last second, trying to find the defense.
Well, Jones passed his coach, Bob Wenzel, in the all-time Rutgers scoring list in the last game. Wenzel had 735 points. Jones now goes past him. And Worthy is even with Wenzel also, so they're both going after the coach in a different way.
And he's loving it.
Yeah. Birmingham missing. Good rebound. Phillips. Foul called to Manhattan. Frustration foul.
Rutgers pressing after made free throws, and it's a diamond in one, and it's taking those big guards out of the half-court set. Manhattan has looked much better in the half-court, not nearly as good when Rutgers has been able to force them into transition. Now the Jaspers extending their defense a little bit, but it was soft and token.
First half of play, 14 minutes to go. Rutgers 16, Manhattan 9. Jones to Lamoureux. Traveling. He knew it. He is a college basketball diehard fan. Could probably name the starting lineup for Northern Iowa.
And he didn't want any grief either. He didn't want any grief from Mike Jones. Mike was trying to tell him I was open into there. Lamoureux said, I had the shot too. I just shuffled these cookies a tad.
Good defense by Jones again. Long lead to Lumpkin. He puts it in. That's a beauty.
Right on the money. That may get Lumpkin off to known as an offensive player and certainly a three-point shooter. He just didn't appear at all against Kentucky. They took him right out of it.
Jones playing terrific defense thus far. And Jamal Marshall, 6'9" sophomore from Marist High School, Jersey City, hits the jump hook.
Manhattan coaches think he's a gamer. One of those guys that knock your eyes out in practice, but really rises to the occasion. They were just outclassed by St. John's last night.
Santiago missing, rebound, pulled in by a streaking Carrie Edwards. He leads Marshall. Rebound Lamoureux. And Rutgers will push it the other way.
So far, the big men on both clubs running the floor very well.
Santiago scoops inside, loses it out of bounds. And wholesale substitution for each club is Worthy and Stewart now coming in for Rutgers. And for the Jaspers, it's Justin Phoenix and Carrie Wilson.
Stewart, the third center for Rutgers.
Mark Redden also in there for the Scarlet Knights at the guard. Point guard replacing Santiago, and Redden gets the feed. Rebound pulled down by Edwards. Williams dishes off to Wilson. Manhattan, a big ball club, even when they go to the bench. Williams for three. Off balance. Lumpkin board. Redden pushing it with Worthy. Good stutter step. Rebound put up. Worthy missing twice. And a clever move by Wilson to the front court. And he puts it up and in. But Carrie Wilson, last year beat Fordham with a 40-footer at the buzzer, goes coast to coast.
This tempo, though, I think plays to Rutgers' advantage. They're much more at home in the up and down. I think it would be to Manhattan's advantage. Get a little bit more control of this thing, get it in the half court. Rutgers not a good outside shooting team, generally not that good a half court team. But boy, they get up and down very well.
Rutgers with the ball, up 5. Redden triggers it to Worthy. He fires. He's off right now.
But those are good shots. Those are not poor shots. That's like a 17-footer, little dribble, little power move to the right. He's getting good shots.
Never met a shot he didn't like. Edwards, free underneath, and the Jaspers are within 3.
Well, let's just put it this way. When he has the ball, it's not an equal opportunity offense. If you want to pass, you better go to the glass.
Lumpkin for three. Rebound controlled by Phoenix. 6 in a row for the Jaspers.
Rochelle is slowing his Jaspers down. Smart move.
Williams for three. We are tied at 18. Chris Williams shooting 46% from trifecta land. 9 in a row for Manhattan.
That's a nice looking stroke.
And it's a senior ball club where they didn't panic at all. They stuck, and they maybe slowed it down, like you said, a little bit. Manhattan picked to be second in the MAC this year.
Lapis did a nice job collecting this group and making them winners. And Patella has been very, very honest in his appraisal, saying he inherited a good veteran team.
He's shown a lot of class by giving the credit to his players and the former coach. We'll be right back. The winner, Louisville.
I think Butch Beard was on that, our old friend from MSG.
Well, the MVPs of that team, Ron Thomas and Jim Price. (18-18), 10-minute mark, first half. Bruce Beck, Bucky Waters from Madison Square Garden, Chemical Bank, ECAC Holiday Festival, third-place game. Rutgers and Manhattan.
Excuse me, Bruce. Neither one of these teams are sulking. After 10 minutes, it's pretty obvious that Monday is gone, and they're eager to play. We're going to have a good one here.
And Manhattan on a pretty good run right now. Chris Williams pulls up for three. Lumpkin has it knocked away by Bullock. It goes out of bounds, and so does the Bull. Bullock did a good job off the boards in the last game. You know, he shot poorly, 4 for 17, but getting 15 rebounds showed that he wasn't sulking during the game. Lamoureux back in, replacing Anthony Stewart. Wilson in, replacing Edwards for the Jaspers.
Scarlet Knights with two big men now. Andrew Kobuszewski, 6'8", and Lamoureux in there. They got a couple of big bears. Ooh. Look at here. Look what I found.
All alone. The freshman from Archbishop Molloy, New York, gets his first bucket. Andrew Kobuszewski.
The Jaspers were perfectly displayed in that half-court trap, and the ball just trickled between. Everybody thought the other guy was going to pick it up.
Good pass by Bullock to Wilson, moving without the ball down the middle, and he was fouled. Foul was called on Mark Redden. Now Jones back in, replacing Redden. 1-and-1 time for the Jaspers. Santiago, Jones, Lumpkin, Kobuszewski, and Lamoureux on the floor for the Scarlet Knights. Phoenix, Birmingham, Wilson, Bullock, and Chris Williams for the Jaspers. Wilson hits the first, the senior from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Season high at Marquette, a 12-point effort. That was the only losing game for Manhattan before the loss to St. John's.
Wilson, terrific athlete. Real strength on defense. Whoa, there he is right there. Leads the team in creating turnovers. Boy, looked like a quarterback going after that.
Lumpkin will inbound for the Scarlet Knights, who lead by 1. Santiago to Lumpkin. Inside Kobuszewski. Good drop step, and he puts it in.
Boy, quick 4 points off the bench there for Bob Wenzel with that substitution.
Williams throws it away.
Rutgers really had that lane packed in that time. Williams got up in the air with no place to go.
Wenzel's first concerns coming into this game, he said emotionally we must recover. Number 2, we're concerned about Manhattan's balance. And number 3, we think we can pressure them, and we think we can handle their pressure. Jones triggers outside Santiago. And he throws it away. Picked up by Bullock. Chris Williams to Wilson. Back to Williams. Yes. A 3 for Chris Williams. Mike Jones is hurt. He limps over to the Rutgers bench with the score tied at 22. Getting immediate attention over there.
He was deep in the backcourt. I did not see the play.
He did not come back to play defense, so apparently he got He was either cramping up or couldn't move back there and finally hustled over to the bench. 8-minute mark, tied at 22.
Birmingham tracking Lumpkin. That's a good matchup.
Kolbasovsky outside Lumpkin. Two-man game with Kolbasovsky. Lumpkin pulls up and hits. Nice little two-man game.
Very well done. I think if I were defending against Lumpkin, I think I'd stay on him on the perimeter and not permit that inside-out move.
Good steal by Santiago. Rutgers in transition 3-on-3. Knocked out of bounds by Wilson.
Well played that time by Wilson. Caught him back. He was outnumbered. He guessed right.
Time out on the court. 7:23 to go. First half. Rutgers by a deuce.
Full time at Duke University. Michelle, although he inherited this team, is a good recruiter.
Here's Worthy. Penetrates. Throws it away. He was into the paint. Would have been wiser to put it up.
Bounce pass, bounce pass, bounce pass.
Chris Williams directing traffic for the Jaspers. 6-2 on the season. Off the pick, Wilson. He penetrates, puts it up and in, and it counts.
Nice move down the middle. Watch turn, face. Lumpkin caught a cold as Wilson blew by that time. Nicely done. That's called matador defense. No help behind him either. Pretty tough in college basketball now to put that ball on the floor and go from the head of the key in there without getting nailed. Good help side defense taught by most of the coaches now.
Pretty good first half. 24 all. Both clubs showing some spark. Santiago for the Scarlet Knights looking inside of Jamal Phillips, who wants the ball. Phillips outside Worthy. Rutgers with excellent balance. 8 players have scored. No player has more than 4 points. Lumpkin, Phillips, air ball. Good defense by the Jaspers. Here's Williams. Birmingham. And Kolbasovsky, real fine job fronting Bullock there. Kolbasovsky is a young man who seems to know the game and have a feel for it.
He's tough. Tough kid.
Unfortunately, he's a 4, and that's where Phillips has been playing this year.
Rutgers has good depth in the front court. Their problem has been some consistent perimeter shooting to open things up for those guys. Nice pass. Marshall
got it. Entry pass by Chris Williams, and the Jaspers lead 26-24 after trailing 18-9.
Williams, a good job of shaping up in there, keeping the defense on his back.
Worthy. He's missed 7 in a row. Lumpkin picks it up. He misses. Worthy trying to get it back. Still loose. Finally, Wilson has it. And Wilson throws it away.
Yeah, those officials were beaten back that time. No excuse for that. Neither one was ahead of the play.
Knocked out of bounds.
Weren't even parallel. That's why we have 3 officials.
Rutgers ball.
Nice bounce pass inside. Little power move. Smooth. Very smooth. Not enough pressure on the ball when they're making passes and measuring them like that.
Santiago pops. Rutgers is cold. The Jaspers with the ball and a 2-point lead with 5:10 to go in this first half of play. Williams dishes outside to Keith Bullock. Wilson, and a flat shot put in for 3 by Carey Wilson. And the Jaspers up by 5 and on a pretty good run.
Boy, that was absolutely a line drive. Almost no rotation at all.
Scarlet Knights need a bucket badly. They work out of the double stack. Santiago dishes to Worthy. Worthy gets inside, misses again, tips it again. Lamoureux, and a foul call. He'll shoot 2.
Freshella just screaming at the top of his lungs, block out, block out, block out. The Scarlet Knights are just all over the offensive board. Worthy gets it up there soft. Why that didn't go down, I don't know. Gets a tip. Now Lamorello comes there, actually gets the ball off the floor and gets yet another opportunity. So the veteran Jaspers not taking care of business. The first effort on defense has been pretty good, but the Scarlet Knights have really done well down in there on second shots.
Lamoureux hits the first free throw. Ineligible last year because of academics. That's no excuse, because I was talking to him yesterday, and he's a bright young man. He's just got to apply himself. Manhattan 29-26. Bullock. Foul. Lamoureux. Bullock will go to the line for 2.
Manhattan does a very nice job of getting under control if they don't have the fast break and quickly looking into the post. And their postmen who run the floor are rewarded and getting nice passes in there.
Bullock will shoot 2, but first a timeout. Rutgers wants to talk it over. The Scarlet Knights up early by 9, now trail by 3. Rebounds in that game against Rutgers in a losing cause. We were so impressed with his maturity and the way he handled the media. There was such attention focused on him as a freshman. He was just a gem.
Really a class act. Probably the tallest Eagle Scout I've ever seen. But he can play, too. And, of course, he's so thin at that point. He was all just knees and elbows and spent a lot of time on the floor, but he just got back up and battled everybody. And I understand he's put on about 30 good pounds. He's not able to play basketball, but he's getting stronger, and with his natural talent, he's going to be something. Maybe the best ever. That's possible.
Wow.
7'6", runs, hands. I mean, he plays golf. He played quarterback, hit 400 in baseball. He's an extraordinary athlete.
Keith Bullock made 1 for 2 free throws. Rutgers losing the ball. Williams, good dish to Wilson. Goes in against Santiago and slams it home, and Manhattan suddenly has opened up over Rutgers by 6. 10 points off the bench for the athletic Carrie Wilson. 4 for 4 from the field.
And he almost got caught from behind while he was getting his steps measured and priming to do that slam. He almost got caught from the back.
Out of bounds, Rutgers will keep possession of his last touch by Bullock.
All right, just coming out of there. The Jaspers kick it out. It's wide open. Watch Wilson. I just think I'll measure this. And a hustling Scarlet Knight defense almost caught him.
Worthy inbound feed. Goes into the paint. Good look to Lamoureux.
That's the move to the basket I'd like to see Bullock do. Not the finger rolls. When you get it in there, slam it.
Lamoureux has played well. And a turnover against the Jaspers as Rutgers picks it up a bit. The Whammer, Tom Meeberg, keeping our statistics tonight in the control room, and Harry Robinson here courtside.
Lamoureux with a fake for the outside shot that fooled no one. Mostly the guy guarding him. It was like, I don't believe you're going to do that. Go ahead.
Jones, Lamoureux, ball away. Foul call. And it's against Manhattan, pushing off against Mike Jones, who is just kind of circling around in there, buzzing, looking for position. And it's 1-1, and Jones will shoot him.
Big problem for Fran Frischella is boards, boards, boards. He likes what he sees on the half court offensively. He likes his defense. But the offense doesn't end until the other team has the ball. Second shots are a very important part of it. And it needs to be part when you plan your offense. The one shot is good. The second shot is better.
Jones hits the first as Rutgers pulls within 3. We have 2:53 to go in the first half. Third place game of the Chemical Bank ECAC Holiday Festival. Manhattan 32, Rutgers 29. Rutgers 9 team fouls, Manhattan 17 fouls. And Jones converts at the line, pulling Rutgers within 2. Bruce Beck and Bucky Waters with you. A special welcome tonight to the affiliates watching on Prime Network. Hope you're enjoying this action with another game still to come. Rutgers at Kentucky for the championship. Two schools rich in basketball tradition. Jones, who has been a demon on defense, almost got his 3rd steal. Jaspers will keep possession.
Rutgers really has to be assertive in that half-court defense because this experienced Manhattan team has done an excellent job when allowed to run their stuff.
Manhattan from the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, Rutgers from the Atlantic 10, and a very good Atlantic 10 this year. Edwards missing, Lamoureux a force on the board.
Keith Bullock, nice pass that time under pressure. Big guy has great hands.
Jones in and out. Bullock with the rebound, and Lamoureux over anxious. Call for the foul. He really likes to play. He's pointing to his head now.
Animated Lamoureux.
He's fun to watch in practice.
Yep.
Bob Wenzel's not as happy about what's going on. Not as animated right now. Bullock goes to the line. Lamoureux took a shot in practice the other day, and he goes, "That's too far for me." Bullock, fourth in the all-time Manhattan scoring list, and he misses the first. You know who's number 2?
Who?
Actually, number 5. A guy we see often, Larry Lembo, the fine referee.
That was a good tennis player as well.
Here's Nick McCarthy on Bullock.
That's a pretty big statement. Looking at that St. John's roster right off the top of my head. Of course, Bullock made the tour with Lou Carnesecca, the Big East team, actually. He and Chanel Scott were on the same team. Definitely a player. Probably will have a nice career in Europe, will Bullock.
That time Lamoureux was held underneath by Justin Phoenix. Going back to the Zebra, Larry Lembo, 1,443 points from 62 to 65 in just 66 games. That means he was averaging well over 22. Here we go. Lamoureux goes to the free throw line. He's got 6 points, and he's shooting 1 and 1. Lamoureux spent 2 seasons at Cypress Community College in California, near Los Angeles.
Went 3 for 3 against Duke. That was a fine performance on December the 12th in the Meadowlands. 19,000 people, and Rutgers gave Duke all it wanted.
So Rutgers within 1 with 1:40 to go. First half of play. Scarlet Knights led 18-9. Manhattan came scrambling back, and now Rutgers right back in the ball game. Bullock like a runaway train, and he is fouled by Mark Redden. This is what you were talking about the other night, saying that Bullock needs to get to the line. He needs to go to the basket.
Guys with that kind of equipment need to be shooting a lot of free throws. Nice move to the hoop. Redden moved in there way too late, but he has my undying respect for getting in front of Bullock. Nice rotation on this free throw as well. But it's been long both nights.
These shorts are a little long, and Joe Mingle comes over and says, "Pull up those trunks."
They actually look like drapes. Guys that look the worst in those are guys like Bobby Hurley. You know, it makes him look like he's about 4 foot tall.
Well, Bullock gets 1 for 2, and the Jaspers lead it 34-32. Lamoureux leads Rutgers in scoring with 9. Wilson leads Manhattan with 10. And the ball goes out of bounds off the foot of Jamal Phillips. Fran Fraschilla, 21st coach in Manhattan history. Got a 4-year contract this past year. Here's Wilson.
Rutgers trying to get a little quickness and a little better half-court defense. Have both point guards in the game now. Santiago and Redden both.
Edwards back outside to Williams. Bullock.
That gives the Manhattan backcourt a considerable size advantage, though, at 6'4" and 6'5".
Not a good shot by Edwards. Lamoureux's pass deflected, but Jones still maintains possession. Phillips. Air ball. His offense has not been there in this tournament. Shot clock off, 33 seconds to go. First half, Jaspers with the ball and a 2-point lead. At the half, we'll have a championship preview. A look ahead to the St. John's, Kentucky game. We'll see how the two clubs reach the final. Williams with 10 seconds. Williams looks inside, gets it to Bullock. Bullock puts it up, misses the chippy, gets it back, and a foul is called before time had expired, and that will put Bullock on the line.
Boy, that's a superb move. I think everybody in Madison Square Garden knew where that ball was going to go if Manhattan had any kind of a choice at all. Bullock fought through the defense, made the tough catch in traffic, superb move down the baseline, missed, and then went back and got the second effort.
No time left, and Bullock will shoot the free throws all by himself.
Again, it's long.
That one dropped?
Yeah, it dropped. But he's been hitting that same spot on the back of the rim. Why don't you go ahead and bank it, Keith? 3 for 7.
One more try for Bullock before the half. Nope, too far again. So Bullock struggling at the line. He is a 70% free throw shooter. And at the intermission, it's Manhattan on top of Rutgers, 35-32. Inside pass to Marshall, has it knocked away, puts it back up and in. So the Jaspers up by 5.
Rutgers starting in pressure man for man.
Worthy. Ball away by Phillips, and that's the offense that Bob Wenzel was hoping for from Jamal Phillips.
Nice bounce pass feed in there. Again, from 15 feet in, unless you're throwing the alley-oop to the rim, a bounce pass is a winner.
Strong offensive board by Bullock. He misses, and Santiago is there. Long lead to Worthy. He's hanging, and he gets it in a foul. And that was really a smart play by Worthy, who snuck down the court, basket hanging. But you know what? He made it work because he waited and waited, and a la Clyde Frazier got the chance for a three-point play.
Santiago putting it right on the money. Worthy waiting around, as a senior is wise to do, waiting for just a little contact, having a chance now to convert for 3. He got off early in the first half, too, and then disappeared. I have to think the Jasper defense had something to do with that.
Worthy looking for the three-point play. At 27 on Monday. Quiet here tonight to 5. And his shooting has been way off. First half, Worthy was 1 for 11.
And it was his first one.
And what would you recommend for him to do?
Keep shooting.
Bullock. Ooh, it goes down for Keith Bullock. I don't think Worthy will have any trouble listening to your advice. Here's Phillips. Good look to Lamoureux. Maybe one step too many. Chris Williams back, dishing to a wide open Edwards. He hits the 3. Jaspers by 6.
Williams set that up beautifully, drawing the defense to him and getting the passing lane he wanted. Nicely done.
And a steal by Birmingham. Williams spins to the front court. Williams takes it to the glass. And the rebound to Lamoureux. Rutgers down by 6. Worthy for 3. No way. He's not even close right now. Marshall gets it. Chris Williams. Very confident veteran Manhattan Ball Club. And a foul called underneath on Rutgers. I think it's on Phillips for pushing off.
Number 20, Chris Williams, a 6. Drawing the defense, kicking out, beautifully setting up Kerry Edwards, who nails it for a 3. Again, a smart, tall, talented Manhattan team. A good bounce pass on the baseline. And I'll tell you, that came off of a secondary break where Manhattan came down, didn't have the first wave, went right into their secondary break and got the mismatch.
Well, that's a percentage shot as Worthy snoops ahead of the field and gets the jam. And pulls the Scarlet Knights within 4 as Bob Wenzel in his 5th year trying to get the club going.
He wants that post fronted. That's what he was telling his interior defense. Front him, front him.
Bullock, foul call. It's on Weiler. He doesn't like it.
Joe Mingle does not like the histrionics either.
Third foul on him.
Rutgers already with one technical foul on a player, which of course this year counts as well as a technical.
Now Wilson is in the game. Wilson had a big first half off the bench with 10, including 1 3-pointer. Keith Bullock at the free throw line. 9 boards for Bullock. He's just nowhere near the hoop on his free throw shooting. The guy who shoots 69%.
Now he's short.
He's talking to himself.
One thing about it, though, they're straight. He's got the elbow straight. When you start to miss like that, you really got to say, where's the ball hitting? What's happening to it? But at least he's long and short. He's got the right direction.
Jones missing. Jones keeps it alive. Jones to Phillips. Wide open Worthy. Looks to Jones. And they work it to perfection, and a foul is called.
Nice look inside that time by the Scarlet Knights. Again, Rutgers working the offensive boards. Mike Jones with a nice shovel pass. Steve Worthy, who everyone in the arena expects to shoot, looking down and catching Jones ready to go back up and go to work.
Jones converts the 3-point play. Jones playing in his 100th game at Rutgers tonight.
Another senior.
Rutgers within 1. 16:45 to go. Second half. Wilson. He hits.
Think about Rutgers. They've lost to #1 Duke and #3 Kentucky, and it isn't even January yet. I told him at the shoot around today, I said, I know the guys out at Kansas and Indiana. I said, you know, I'm sure we could get them to come in if you guys really want to complete the cycle.
Worthy picks up the loose ball. Round the back to Weiler, and he draws the foul.
Nice pass.
So Worthy doing a lot of things well, despite not shooting it well.
Well, he's a creator, and that was very evident against the fine Kentucky defense on Monday night. Kentucky took their offense away, and he was forced to be creative, and he was. That's a little behind the back, sees the crease. Oh, that's nice. And I think he would have had difficulty making that play in front of him.
Worthy was checking out the replay on the scoreboard. He was enjoying it.
That's what you call being aware of your environment.
And he is aware of where the camera is, too. Weiler, #3 in the all-time block shots list at Rutgers. 1 for 2 from the line. And it's 44-42 Jaspers. Bullock. Wilson finds Bullock in the middle. He puts it in. Good left hand by Keith.
He's really clever down in there. You know, he really doesn't get much height when he's moves to the basket. He's kind of cute, sliding underarms, putting it up soft. Probably trying to avoid being fouled at this point.
Creative move by Weiler using the opposite hand at the field, and he'll go to the line for 2.
6'9" from Haddonfield, New Jersey. Down South Jersey, where I grew up.
Fran Fraschilla spending a lot of time teaching on the bench throughout the night for the Jaspers. Weiler hits the first. He spent much of the summer with the Atlantic 10 All-Stars traveling in Mexico. He runs the floor well.
Rutgers has a nice array of big men.
Weiler converts both free throws, and this ball game remains tight. Manhattan by a bucket. 15:51 to go.
In the future. Well, of course, this year we had Indiana playing locally Seton Hall. It was a great field. We had a nice crowd down here. In fact, that was our best crowd ever that we had here for the preseason NIT. And one of the teams, which I'll mention, it's not completely filled. Well, St. John's will be in the preseason next year. So Brian will be back down here.
Jack. Thanks a lot. Have a happy New Year. Bruce, a scoop for us. St. John's going to be playing in the preseason NIT next year.
Okay, Mike. So as usual, a solid field in the preseason NIT.
That's been a nice, very nice treat for the college basketball coaches. They vie to be picked in that. There is a set of rules where they can't dominate. They have to rotate off, so you don't get the same teams coming in each year. But they've done a terrific job with both the pre and postseason NIT. That's important to college basketball.
Weiler picked up his 4th foul. Kolbasovsky coming off the bench, and he will replace Weiler for the Scarlet Knights. Justin Phoenix with one more free throw coming up for Manhattan. 46-44, Jaspers lead it. 15:22 to go, second half of play. This is the 3rd place game of the Chemical Bank ECAC Holiday Festival, with Kentucky and St. John's to follow for the championship.
Kolbasovsky came in with 4 points in 5 minutes in the first half. See if he can repeat that performance.
Steve Worthy outside Kolbasovsky. Jones to point guard Damon Santiago from the Bronx, New York. Stevenson High School. Jones for 3. A rare 3 for Jones. It's only taken 5 attempts coming into the ball game, and Rutgers up by 1.
Not much movement in the Rutgers offense. Just kind of a pass, a dribble, and then pretty much of a one-on-one opportunity.
Jones stepped out of bounds. He is some defensive player.
Kamikaze.
Bullock will inbound. Harry Wilson for the Jaspers. Game has been close throughout. The biggest lead, Rutgers by 9 at 18-9. But then Manhattan went on a pretty good run. Tied the game at 18. Took the lead at the half. Shot clock down to 14. Edwards and Santiago caught him. It's a hell ball. The arrow points to RU.
Nice move that time by Damon Santiago. Put his body right in the line, right in front of a forceful penetration. Gary Edwards got up in the air, left his feet too soon. I think he underestimated Santiago's quickness. Bobby Hurley doesn't. In that game with Duke, he absolutely blew by the little fella from Duke, who is one tough customer to break down off the dribble. So I know Santiago's got the quicks, big time.
Foul was on Edwards, his 2nd, and that is the 5th team foul at Jaspers. Justin Phoenix goes back to the bench, and Jamal Marshall reports for Manhattan. Here's Worthy over 2 players and drawing the foul. That's what he does best, that body control head fake.
He's almost begging for contact. Marshall eager to come over and help, feeling very, very unintelligent about that foul. Just really went for the oldest fake in basketball. But the better defensive players really are easier to fake because they're anticipating.
Marshall with 4 fouls and heads back to the bench. And Worthy will shoot 2.
Manhattan does not have the luxury of depth at center that Rutgers has.
Here's Marshall on the bench with 4. Worthy who went past his coach, Bob Wenzel, on the all-time Rutgers list tonight, converting both free throws. And Worthy with 9 points.
Marshall in foul trouble on Monday night against St. John's, played only 24 minutes. That's a problem for the Jaspers. They need both those big bears in there, Marshall and Bullock.
Good hustle by Worthy. Rutgers on an 8-2 run and leading by 3. Rutgers will play on Saturday against James Madison, then Tuesday a tough one, a great local rivalry against Princeton. Phoenix with the putback, foul called on Phillips, and Phoenix can tie the game.
Keith Bullock with a real good, strong move to the hoop that time. Nice pass inside, no pressure on the ball at all. Jones just letting that ball go down in. Good recovery that time by Phillips, with the staying power of the rookie, Justin Phoenix, out of Camden Catholic. 6'7" freshman.
Not far from your old stomping grounds down in Collingswood, New Jersey.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. My old high school coach, Jack McCluskey, former general manager of the Pistons, now the general manager of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's got Christian Laettner, and he's only won 5 out of the first 23. And I know he's not.
It's a kick, and they'll get a brand new 45-second clock as Lamoureux reports back in for the Scarlet Knights. So it's Lamoureux and Kolbasovsky with Worthy, Jones, and Santiago for Rutgers. Manhattan going with Bullock, Wilson, Phoenix, Edwards, and Chris Williams. Worthy, open for three. Rebound, Bullock.
Oh.
Double-figure rebounds for Bullock. He fires for three. He misses. And the rebound comes down to Jones.
If I'm Rutgers, I love to see him out there taking that shot. I think he's much more dangerous down inside. He's a good passer, good penetrator, very smart player inside. An occasional one out there, fine, but he drifts out there too much.
Jones looks inside. Kolbasovsky feeds Lamoureux, and a foul call. And Rutgers moving the ball well and playing unselfishly.
I think the halftime adjustment there is very clear. Bob Wenzel not pleased at all with his too quick to one-on-one. Has tried to settle that thing down on the half court offensively. You know, you look at that first half. If Manhattan had shot their free throws, they were 8 for 16 from the line. They had a 3-point lead, but they could have had a very nice pad with just average free throw shooting.
Lamoureux hits the first. 10 points for Lamoureux. He had 11 points and 10 boards against Loyola of Maryland. Phoenix has the second rebound. Rutgers has a 2-point lead. And both clubs have played hard right from the outset. No problem with a third place or consolation game. Rutgers gets the ball back on a turnover. You know, they changed the term from consolation to third place game a couple years ago.
That's politically correct.
Yeah. Worthy dumps inside. Kolbasovsky, fall away foul. Not a good foul by Phoenix because he's not going to hurt you with that shot. But he will hurt you at the line. Now Brenton Birmingham, sociology major from Brooklyn Tech High School, replaces Harry Edwards for the Jaspers. Kolbasovsky played for Jack Curran, the legendary coach at Archbishop Malloy in New York City. Made the winning basket in the Catholic High School League playoffs, upsetting St. Raymond's.
Rutgers a strong metropolitan New York area flavor. 5 from right here and a par 3 from the Garden.
Of course, St. Raymond's the school that our producer, Ed Cacinelli, attended.
There must be a big statue out there somewhere. You know the pigeons love it.
Orlando Antigua Pitt also from that school. Terrence Frencher over at Texas. Another young man at UTEP. Eddie something. I'm not sure his last name. Rivera, I think it is. Rutgers by 3. Wilson. Bullock. Forced it. And Rutgers playing good defense. And Wenzel very happy on the bench about that last defensive series. His kid's doing the job defensively. 3-point lead for the Scarlet Knights with 11:45 to go in the second half.
Shot, and the best they could get was a 40-foot jump shot that was shot 37 feet. But Lorenzo Charles picked it up and stuffed it and made Jim Valvano a very smart coach. By the way, Jim Valvano was Bob Wenzel's freshman coach at Rutgers University. And we wish Jim well as he battles cancer. And his spirits are good. I talked with him this week.
Rutgers with the ball up by 3. Worthy kicks it outside to Jones. Santiago with some room now penetrates. And an offensive foul is called on Santiago.
Smart move that time by Justin Phoenix. Did not get lured into an easy foul. He had Santiago in trouble coming down the baseline. just took the charge.
Williams, outside Bullock. Wilson, and he hits it for 3, and he ties the game at 51.
Nice coming out. Nice rotation that time. Again, Manhattan executing their half-court offense extremely well.
Santiago is free, way off the mark. Strong rebound to Phoenix, and he's called for traveling. Freshman mistake. Gary Edwards back in the ball game for the Jaspers, replacing Brenton Birmingham.
Manhattan from the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
They're picked number 2 in the preseason poll to Siena, with Iona number 3. Jones for 3. And a held ball. Kolbasowski snuck inside. The arrow points to Manhattan.
Kolbasowski's been impressive coming off the bench with scoring in the first half, and he's been omnipresent here with little things. Rebounding and big, strong body, plays hard. Wenzel's got to be happy with that front court the way it's coming. They're all just getting ready for conference play. Rutgers, a member of the Athletic Atlantic 10, which is now down to 8.
But a very powerful conference this year.
I've seen Temple. Oh, they're outstanding.
West Virginia is good. Worthy, he hits it. And Worthy puts the Scarlet Knights up by a deuce. And on the other end, the Kangaroo, Gary Edwards. He gets 2. We're back to tie.
Oh, he's a superb athlete. They refer to him like a punt or kickoff returner. He's liable to run it back and flash for 100 yards, and he's liable to fumble it, but he's always exciting. Gets up in the air and stays there.
Santiago off the mark, out of bounds to Manhattan, getting back to the Atlantic 10. UMass is very strong again, and Rhode Island's backcourt extremely dangerous. Time out on the floor with 9:33 to play. We are tied at 53. He was at Delaware for a couple of years. Now he's come back. Still involved in red, you know. He goes from St. John's red to Rutgers red, and he works with Rich Danica and Jeff Mitchell as an assistant to Wenzel. And he said the other day he still shoots these guys once in a while to let them know he can still do it.
Pressure man by Rutgers.
Edwards inside, knocked away and picked off by Jones.
Bullock has got to want that ball. He's got to respect the Rutgers defense. He just can't tap it around. Got to go meet the pass. There's that fake again at the head of the key. And 9 people just freeze and look. One of these days, he's got to let it go. He's got to make believers out of it.
Then they'll come up and contend him. Worthy's pass deflected and intercepted by Wilson. Wilson streaks up court. Phoenix, offensive foul. And Fran Priscilla is livid.
Justin Phoenix with a good first step, but there really wasn't any place to go. Just a lot of red laundry in the lane waiting for him.
4 fouls on Phoenix.
Priscilla, of course, thought he had the best view, but his shirt was not striped, and it doesn't count.
Worthy. Rutgers been very patient on offense. Jones baseline jumper. Foul called underneath. And it's against Jamal Phillips, an offensive foul. And that is 5 on Phillips. So not a very pleasant homecoming for Jamal. Just 4 points against Kentucky. And now 4 points against Manhattan. And he had been averaging over 20 per game in the prior 4. But he got bogged down a little bit with having to guard a guy by the name of Mashburn, and then tonight a guy by the name of Bullock.
Well, of course, in fairness to Rutgers, too, Alvin Rich, seniors out 4 weeks. Expected to be a good offensive player, certainly the kind of a player they needed against Kentucky when that strong defense took away all the patterns. You need those creative seniors to get something going for you.
Alvin has a hairline fracture of the right foot. They expect him back in mid-January. He'll be evaluated on January 4th. He averaged 10 per game last year. That's productivity they could use.
Boy, man.
Doing it at the line.
Yeah, Manhattan could be on easy street with some free throw shooting. That's what put holes in coaches' stomachs.
Justin Phoenix, a good-looking freshman.
Just needs a little strength.
He hits both free throws. And the Jaspers go up by 2. Phoenix leaves with 4 fouls and replaced by Kareem Brown, sophomore biology major. And now Donnell Lumpkin replaces Steve Worthy for Rutgers. Worthy with 11 points, 8 in the second half, but he's still not shooting it well. Was 1 for 11 in the first half. And 2 for 4 in the second. 3 for 4 in the second half. Jones, outside Lumpkin. Santiago at the 8-minute mark of the second half with the Scarlet Knights down 2. Lamoureux, good.
They finally let that one go. They'll go for the fake now. I'm a believer.
12 points for Lamoureux. That is a career high. Wilson stripped away by Jones, but he got called for the foul. Rutgers with 18 fouls, Manhattan with 9. Both clubs over the limit. 1 timeout left for the Scarlet Knights, 2 for the Jaspers. And the Jaspers shooting just 43% from the free throw line. Then Kerry Wilson there. 15 points off the bench for Wilson, including 2 threes. And he misses the front end.
Wow. The gang that can't shoot straight, at least from the free throw line.
Lumpkin. Inside Kolbasovsky. What about a jump hook? Went the other way instead. And an offensive foul called on Lamoureux for banging over the top. And that'll be number 3 on him.
Lamoureux moves down that lane at a glacier-like clip. I'll tell you, when he gets there, it has impact. People move.
What recommendations would you make to some of these players tonight who are getting caught all the time for being over the top going to the offensive glass?
Well, they got to start sooner. Most players, unfortunately, wait until the ball is like halfway there before they begin to make their move. That's one of the reasons experienced teams, guys that are used to playing with each other, they really know when the guy's in the rhythm and they're moving to the offensive board almost before the shot is released. And that way you get a shot at the board, at least to be even and not have to come over skin.
Lumpkin, dangerous behind the three-point line.
They're not coming off him. No choking down on the post from Lumpkin. They're staying with him in respect for that three-point shot.
That's Edwards really guarding him well. Jones penetrates. Foul call. Jones will go to the line for 2, and he's been the one player who's been looking for his shot all game long for Rutgers. 3rd foul called on Wilson. And Jones, who has 12 points, heads back to the line as Marshall replaces Kareem Brown for Manhattan. And this game is really slowed in terms of pace.
Both teams playing a lot of big men. I look for a change in there somewhere down around the 5-minute mark. I think one of these 2 coaches is going to go to a 3rd guard and try to open this thing up. And I think it's probably going to be Shella, because the half court is getting him to the foul line, and right now that's killing them. They need to get some breakaways.
Marshall. Wilson. Rutgers has played good defense tonight and throughout the year. Bullock loses the ball. Recovered by Marshall. Wilson dishes it, stolen away by Kolbasovsky. Santiago, he is hammered, and he'll go to the line for 2. In 16 halves of basketball, actually now 17, including tonight, Rutgers has allowed just 3 teams to shoot over 50% in one half. One team was Tennessee, one was Duke, one was Hofstra. And I think when you look at a team's statistics for defense, Buck, it's more important to look at field goal percentage defense than points allowed. And Rutgers is holding opponents to 41% shooting.
That is impressive. And as we prepare for the championship game, one of the strengths of this Kentucky team is just that, and particularly in denying the three-point shot. Everyone is aware that the Patino loves it offensively, but I think the real strength of that team is how they get out and take away the other team's perimeter game, and they do it without fouling.
They did it to Rutgers the other night. Scarlet Knights were just 2 for 11. They limited the chances Rutgers took. 6:10 to go. Jaspers down 1. Bullock. Chris Williams. Bullock missing. Edwards with the rebound. He puts it up and in. Gary Edwards with double figures, now 10 points. And it's a back and forth game with Manhattan up 1. And a steal by Williams. Chris pushes it up. Dishes to Marshall. He lays it in. Manhattan by 3.
I look for Rutgers to start grabbing Bullock if they get a chance. They got to send him to the line.
And they need Worthy as he gets set to report back in. Lumpkin for 3. In and out. Obasowski keeps it alive. And finally the handle controlled by Williams. Bullock for 3. Bullock pushing it.
Bullock not getting back on defense. No excuse for that. I mean, the people just running by him.
Santiago misses a chippy, and Rutgers just can't get a bucket. 4:44 to play. A 3-point lead to the Jaspers. Marshall, foul call. They'll go to the line for 2. He's going to be tough in his league at 6'9", 230. There aren't going to be many guys bigger than him.
Now, unfortunately for the Manhattan program, he's been in foul trouble. He's very alert, very assertive defensively. He's just got to get a little smarter and use a little better judgment when to use that muscle.
4 fouls for Lamoureux. As Marshall goes to the line, Weiler back in with 4 fouls. Manhattan was making their free throws. They might be well out in front here. Instead, they're up by just 3. And the difficulties continue.
Well, they're playing with their heads now. This is a senior team and pretty good free throw shooting team, and it's like an epidemic here. It's infectious. Oh.
Good hustle on the part of Wilson, but the arrow points to Rutgers. Manhattan shooting 40% for the ball game from the line.
That's a bad dream.
They have missed 17 free throws. Fran Fraschilla, he's still working hard at the sidelines. He does not sit down much. His predecessor, Steve Lapis, didn't sit down much either. Santiago to Lumpkin for 3. Tie ball game at 59.
Bad news for the Manhattan team. When that guy heats up, he collects threes in bunches. Just not against Kentucky, but the game before he had 7 threes.
Bullock back inside Marshall. Good help by Weiler. Ties him up. The arrow points to Manhattan.
Double team down inside by the Scarlet Knights. Weiler again, a force. Good defense without fouling.
4 minutes to go. 59 all. Wilson. Rebound. Bullock. 15 boards for Bullock in back-to-back games. Edwards in the cut. Foul by Worthy. Knocked into the stanchion. Luckily, it was padded for Edwards' sake.
Nice give and go that time. Lumpkin with no pressure on the ball. His man just able to easily hit the open cutter. So many times the inside players get grief for this, but look how much time that passer had. Sure, he had a step lead, but the defense on the ball has really got to get up and force, make them turn their back, at least pass over the shoulder. But when they can measure those passes down inside, the margin of error for the defenders down there isn't very much.
Fran Fraschilla calls this man the unsung hero of his ball club. The outstanding defender by far. Look at those numbers. 18 missed free throws.
Edwards only 58 on the year. Finally comes through.
Edwards makes 1 for 2, and the Jaspers lead it by 1 with 3:41 to play.
At Ohio U, Gary Williams at Ohio State, and Jack Kraft at Rhode Island. 13 years in the co-pilot seat, and now he's calling the shots.
Rutgers down by 1 with the ball with 3:22 to play. Each club well over 10 fouls. Lumpkin catching fire. He has 5 quick points, and the Knights back up by 1.
Wenzel guessing right man for man, which is the basic defense for the Jaspers. Nice execution with the good jump shooter coming off a tight screen.
Rutgers 1 timeout left. Manhattan 2. A rejection by Weiler. Marshall 3 opportunities. Finally a whistle as Lumpkin and Marshall hit the floor hard. Actually, it's Bullock. And we've got a call against Bullock of Manhattan.
Boy, this is sumo wrestling under here. Weiler gets the good reject. Good hustle back inside, going right back to the well. Marshall making a good move inside. And now it gets very, very physical. Somebody coming in right now might have thought, gee, I must be late. These guys are playing like it's a championship game.
And heading to the free throw line is Donnell Lumpkin, senior from South Brunswick, New Jersey. 82% free throw shooter. Lumpkin's done a good job tonight in the second half. He's had some big halves this year. Had that 23-point, 20-minute effort against Hofstra and a 25-point, 24-minute effort against Keene State, and Rutgers with a 3-point lead. Under 3 minutes left. Williams outside Bullock. Into the paint, switches hands and draws the foul. It's on Weiler, and that is number 5. And Weiler is gone.
Yeah, but free throws for Bullock have been an adventure. I mean, you really got to think about going to this guy right now. He not only he's not scoring, but he's going to the free throw line and not delivering there. The only good part of all this is that he is stopping the clock for the Jaspers.
So Wenzel will go to Kolbasovsky. He's already got Lamoureux on the floor.
He's played well tonight. Wenzel going with 2 big men now. This part of the game, many times you see smaller teams because you're either chasing or protecting.
Bullock is at the line. He is 4 for 10 from the line in the game. He has 10 points, 16 boards, 31 for the tournament. And he misses another. 6 double-doubles this year for Bullock. Pretty good consistency. Heck with the consistency. He just wants to make a free throw. And he does. Manhattan cuts the lead to 2 with 2:44 to play.
Little 3/4 court press there. Not very tough. Good trap.
Worthy and Santiago in the backcourt. Kolbasovsky, Lamoureux, and Lumpkin up front for Rutgers.
The Jaspers showing a half-court trap, but nothing very serious back in man for man.
Worthy with the shot clock down to 20. Lumpkin has hit the last 7 Rutgers points. Shot clock goes down to 10. Worthy for 3. Rebound Marshall. 2 minutes to go. Jaspers down by a bucket. Harry Wilson. Bullock down low. No whistle. Edwards fouled. And if that's on Lamoureux, he's gone.
Boy, the inside game of Manhattan is they're just putting great pressure on Rutgers, getting the good entry pass down inside, and they're making good moves to the hoop. Looks like a lot of contact in there. I thought Bullock might have been hit, but I'm a long way away.
There was a foul call there on Kolbasovsky, not Lamoureux, and Kolbasovsky goes to the bench. He only has 1 foul, but he's replaced by Jones. So Lamoureux stays on the court with 4 fouls.
What looked like an abundance of centers for Bob Wenzel and the Scarlet Knights has turned out to be maybe not enough.
Terry Edwards gets the roll and pulls the Jaspers within 1. Edwards 12 points in the game. Tied at 63 with 1:41 left.
Again, the soft half-court trap by the Jaspers. Rutgers walking it up, not really attacking it.
Worthy to Lumpkin. Outside Santiago.
Looks like they're trying to milk some time.
Down that double stack again.
I'm looking for Worthy or Lumpkin to take the shot.
Jones kicks it to Worthy for 3. Misses again. Marshall with another rebound.
Boy, he's a force on that board. Despite the free throw problems now, I think the Jaspers will go to Bullock.
Wilson with it. Under a minute to play.
And he wants it.
24-second differential with the shot clock. Game clock at 50. Shot clock down at 26 and a whistle before the move. And it's on Rutgers. And it is Bullock, I believe, who will go to the line.
You know, a lot of guys that struggled as he has tonight offensively wouldn't want the ball. But that's a credit to him and to the Manhattan kids because they're still looking for him. He's the main man. He's the go-to guy. Good pressure inside. Look at this power. Wow. The foul, of course, was before. Yeah, before. Because I think Lamoureux may have drawn the charge had that foul out front not occurred.
And Jones is giving away 2 inches and 45 pounds. Here's Bullock for 2. He hits the first. And the Jaspers lead it by 1. Bullock hit his last 2.
He's had lots of practice.
For Bullock. A revelation. And the Jaspers lead by 2 with 49.3 seconds left. What a heck of an effort by both clubs for a 3rd place game in a tournament. Biggest lead of the second half, 6 for Manhattan, 3 for Rutgers. It's been that kind of ball game. Scarlet Knights down by 2. Santiago with it.
There are the stacks.
Jones to Lumpkin for 3. Short. Lumpkin keeps it alive and Lamoureux resets. Shot clock is off. Game clock at 24.
Rutgers got the guy they wanted. Lumpkin, the great 3-pointer, right in his range with plenty of time.
Worthy turnaround. Off the mark. Rebound Bullock. Bullock chased by 4 Rutgers players. He stepped out of bounds. And Rutgers will inbound it with 10.1 seconds left. No timeouts. But they will get another chance. Bullock step on the baseline.
Boy, Rutgers so fortunate to have 3 opportunities. Now, how often will you see a senior run along and step out of bounds?
Santiago penetrates. Loses the handle. A foul is called. And Santiago will go to the line for 2 shots. It's on Wilson. The reach, and with Manhattan over the 10-foul limit, it'll be 2 shots.
Watch this move now. Damon Santiago with ultra-quick penetration draws the foul. Manhattan has 2 timeouts left. I think Chriselle's got to be thinking about calling one now. Maybe put a little extra pressure.
Santiago is 82% free throw shooter. 1 for 2 from the line in the game. Nothing but net on the first. Coach Bob Wenzel rooting his club on from the sideline.
If he makes it soft, pressure, full court. If he misses, foul immediately. Soft pressure.
Tied at 65. 4 seconds. Williams to the front court. Fires. No good. Overtime. And Manhattan did not use the timeouts. So Rutgers gets 2 clutch free throws from Santiago. And we are tied at 65. And folks, this is just the 3rd place game of a tournament. But these two teams play like it's a championship.
An outstanding doubleheader. We know the second game is going to be dynamite. Wendell didn't get what he wanted. He wanted soft pressure. Manhattan able to move the ball up the floor here too easily to get a real good look at the basket. They dodge a bullet here when this one catches iron. The question of calling timeout.
And Weiler have already fouled out for Rutgers. Lamoureux has 4 fouls on the floor for the Scarlet Knights. Phoenix and Wilson with 4 for the Jaspers. Jones got it. 14 for Jones. He leads Rutgers in scoring. Great balance tonight. Lamoureux with 12. Worthy 11. Lumpkin with 11. Manhattan led by Wilson with 15. Bullock and Edwards each with 13. And Marshall with 10. Marshall hits the reverse.
Rutgers picks up a timeout as a result of the overtime. Manhattan does as well. They now have 3.
Bruce Beck, Bucky Waters, Madison Square Garden, New York City. 3rd place game of the ECAC Holiday Festival. We're in overtime, tied at 67. And still to come, St. John's and Kentucky for the 41st championship of this tournament, which has had great tradition over the years. And that is all for Wilson, who played a terrific game off the bench. 15 points, his season high.
Scarlet will have to answer one question in the post-game press conference, win or lose, why he didn't use the timeout to try to ice Santiago on the free throw situation when he had 2 in his pocket and 6 seconds to go. I don't second guess at all not calling timeout when they had the good flow coming down the floor. They got a good look at it, got a pretty good shot. And as you say, a guy who's won games for him in the past and against this team.
Mike Jones hits the first free throw. Jones with 15 points, 5 for 7 from the line. His best game this year, 19 against Tennessee. And Rutgers back up by 2.
This Manhattan team lost to Marquette out of Milwaukee, lost to St. John's. It's a good team.
Knocked out of bounds by Santiago, the last touch by the RU player. Rutgers out of the Atlantic 10, Manhattan of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Good rivalry. Rutgers from New Brunswick, New Jersey, and Manhattan up from Riverdale in New York. So these kids know each other.
Rutgers with more New York kids than Manhattan.
You're right. Marshall draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
A half-court offense of Manhattan continues to yield good inside position and sending their post people to the free throw line.
That was on Kolbasovsky.
Nicely done. Not enough pressure on the ball. Nice little bounce pass.
Manhattan up to 46% from the line for the game, but Marshall missing the first. 0 for 2. Kept alive by Birmingham, but picked off by Rutgers. And then Jones loses control. Kolbasovsky gets it, and he's pushed by Bullock. Foul on the Jaspers.
Both of these teams trying to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Each one afforded opportunities to make a move and put this game away. That time, the ball laid on the floor. 3 white jerseys for Manhattan. Just looked at it, and Rutgers out-hustled them.
Kolbasovsky at the line. That's the 4th foul on Bullock.
Wenzel's hot. I mean, he just...
Rutgers from the line in the game, shooting it very well. Up around 80–85%.
Well, he's played well tonight. Every time he's come in, something good has happened. for the Scarlet Knights.
7 for Kolbasovsky. Rutgers by 4. Chris Williams dishes the bullet, goes to the basket, gets his own rebound, and he is fouled by Jones. And that is number 4 on Jones.
Both coaches are going to die when they look at this tape because offensive rebounding has just killed. A pretty good defense at both ends on the first shot, but the second shots have just really killed both of them. Rutgers wants to get out and run, and they can't do it because Manhattan's all over that offensive board. And every play stops. Either they score or they go to the foul line. Rutgers being forced down now into a 60, 70-point game, which they'd rather not do.
Bullock 7 for 15 from the line. 18 rebounds for Bullock.
He's done so many things well. But this has been an albatross. It's getting worse.
But Manhattan does the work on the offensive glass, keeps it alive, draws the foul, and they'll go back to the line. It's on Steve Worthy, and that is 4 on Worthy.
Underneath, just pure hustle. 3 red jerseys, 1 white jersey. Marshall again, a tower of strength.
Nothing that the coach can do on the sidelines can knock that ball into the hoop at the line.
Look at that shirt. It wasn't that dark blue when we started, folks. That is perspiration.
And Marshall misses the front end. Actually, it was the first of 2. For Rutgers now, you've got Jones with 4 fouls, Lamoureux with 4 fouls, Worthy with 4 fouls. Marshall, they've missed 4 in a row here in OT from the line. Birmingham gets the offensive rebound. Finally, Worthy gets it, and he is fouled, and Rutgers will shoot on the other end.
This is becoming a marathon. Recella trying to keep his cool, trying to get his team settled down. Wenzel, on the other hand, is trying to fire him up. Come on, guys. Limit him to 1 shot, please.
Steve Worthy will go to the free throw line. 11 points, 72% free throw shooter. And Worthy hits the first in the ball game. He is 3 for 4 from the line. And Rutgers now up by 6. Here's Williams outside Birmingham for 3. And the rebound of Santiago with 3 minutes to go in the overtime. Rutgers with a 6-point lead. Their biggest lead of the second half onward.
Scarlet Knights now want to milk a little off that clock. Manhattan staying pressure man for man. It's their best defense.
28 for 34 from the line for Rutgers. That is good free throw shooting. Jones to Worthy. Kolbasovsky. Lamoureux. Gorgeous play.
Outstanding interior passing. Lamoureux just almost deflected that thing. The big guy really seeing well, passing well.
Bullock takes it inside. Gets his own board. He's got 19 and he is fouled. And if you're wondering what the all-time single-game rebounding record is at the ECAC Holiday Festival, it belongs to Frank Howard of Ohio State. Hondo.
No. Frank Howard was not Hondo. Frank Howard was a great baseball player. John Havlicek was Hondo, I think.
Well, Frank Howard was Hondo, too.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He did it against Brigham Young in 1956. 32 boards.
If he wasn't, I decree it. He is now. Yeah, it was an outstanding baseball
That's him,
player.
right?
That's terrific. How long ago?
56.
We've had some pretty good rebounders in between there, too. I can rattle off a few. Bill Russell and guy for, what's that, Lanier? Some good ones. Jerry Lucas, also of Ohio State.
Manhattan 16 for 41 at the line. Bullock. He gets one. So Lamoureux is gone. Third Rutgers player to foul out. Phillips, Weiler, and Lamoureux.
Thinking of other big men, good rebounders, Jim McDaniels, Western Kentucky, and of course, Lou Alcindor.
Now Justin Phoenix in, replacing Marshall. It is 75-69 Rutgers with 2:12 to go in the OT. And the way these two teams have been playing, that is a long time to play.
Here comes the pressure.
Lumpkin back outside Santiago.
Well, there's plenty of time to do it, just under 2. It seems every time Manhattan gets the ball, they're able to go down the floor and stop the clock with good inside play.
Shot clock goes down to 15, game clock 1:41. Rutgers with the ball and a 6-point lead. Shot clock at 8. Jones. Shot clock at 5. Worthy. He hits it. A 2-point bucket for Worthy.
Boy, that's a killer. Take it all the way down to the expiration of the shot clock and then nail a 3. That's a heartbreaker. Oh, it's only a 2?
Only a 2, but still an 8-point lead. Birmingham 4-3. Kept alive by Edwards. He loses the ball. Phoenix loses it. And Kolbasovsky comes out of there with the basketball, and he is hacked. Kolbasovsky has done all the little things well in this game.
Huge substitution. Coming off that bench gave the Scarlet Knights a lift every time he appeared.
Foul is on Justin Phoenix, and he is gone. 5 fouls for the freshman, who leaves with 4 points. So he is the first Manhattan player to be disqualified. And it's Andrew Kolbasovsky who will go to the line for Rutgers and will shoot 2. Rutgers 28 for 34 from the line. Manhattan 18 for 43. They've missed 25 free throws.
Got Lumpkin down in the lane there. A lot of coaches in this situation with a minute to go would take people off the lanes to be sure that they don't get a violation. I think Wetzel wants some soft full court pressure too. He wants to make Manhattan labor that ball up the floor and not get it up as quickly as they did at the end of regulation.
1 for 2 for Kolbasovsky. And the Rutgers lead is now 9 with a minute to play in overtime. Chris Williams goes inside to Marshall. He connects. And a timeout taken by the Jaspers. They'll still have 2 left. Rutgers has 1 left.
Defensively, Rutgers is between
by the Jaspers, man to man. Jones is fouled. And Jones fouled by Williams. He'll go to the line for 2.
Jones, 71% free throw shooter. Not the highest priority that time, but at this point with 44 seconds to go, the Jaspers can't refer it to a committee. It's still doable.
Jones in the game with 16. Rutgers looking to improve to 5-4 on the year. Don't forget, still to come, it's going to be St. John's against Kentucky for the championship here in New York. 41st edition of the ECAC Holiday Festival. Jones hits 1 for 2.
Soft pressure now. Rutgers does not want to stop that clock.
8-point lead for the Scarlet Knights in OT. Williams looking for desperation. Somebody. Marshall missing. Kolbasovsky with the board. And he is fouled by Cary Edwards. His 3rd foul.
Hard to understand why Manhattan not going for the 3. Rutgers, I'm sure, is out there trying to say we can live with some 2s, but no 3s. But Manhattan trying to get down inside. They don't have time to do that. Still with 2 timeouts, Manhattan. Good shot there by the big guy. Marshall's been all over that board all night. Kolbasovsky again ripping off that rebound, protecting it, not looking for an outlet pass, not taking a chance.
8 points and 4 boards for the freshman from Archbishop Molloy High School in New York City. Solid second half for Kolbasovsky.
If I'm Bob Wetzel, I don't like Lumpkin down in that 2nd spot down there with 28 seconds to go. Just capable of reaching in and stopping that clock and giving him another chance.
9-point game. Manhattan needs a 3. And it's provided by Carrie Edwards. They still have one timeout left, and it's down to 6, but only 17 seconds left.
Should have been looking for that 3 the first time down the floor. They got a foul immediately to get in front, try to draw a charge. And even though there's a timeout now, it's after a basket, and Kolbasovsky can run.
Each club with one timeout left. Jones back to Kolbasovsky, fouled quickly. 2.2 seconds erased from the clock.
Boy, that's a lot of confidence going right back to the big fella, because you know whoever gets that pass is going to the free throw line. Just a freshman.
Foul is on Williams. That's his 4th. And Kolbasovsky, we're now told, has 7 rebounds to go with those 9 points. Jamal Marshall replaces Brown. Rutgers lost the other night to Kentucky, 89-67. Manhattan lost to St. John's, 74-59. But both these clubs have given great effort in this 3rd place game of the Chemical Bank ECAC Holiday Festival. This is the rematch of last year's 2nd round of the NIT, won by Manhattan at the buzzer. Kolbasovsky misses both. Manhattan has a chance.
Got to go for 3.
Chris Williams falls down and travels. He slipped on the floor.
That's too bad. You would like to have seen him have another shot at it, having hit one.
Quick foul taken by Carrie Edwards. His 4th foul. Worthy will shoot at the line, and if Worthy hits the 2 free throws here, you can say this one is finally over.
I think this one's safely in the column.
You waited about 2.5 hours to make that judgment?
Yes. Wetzel still got his players down in there, down along the line.
Worthy missing.
Well, all that can happen is they go for an offensive rebound. All that can happen. Yeah, I really question that.
Worthy misses another. Marshall gets the rebound. 7 seconds to go. Williams to Birmingham. They'll try for 2, but that will not be enough. Rutgers has prevailed, and they take 3rd place in this tournament. 80-76 in overtime. A marathon ball game, but a good win for Coach Bob Wenzel and his Scarlet Knights.
It really was. Rutgers fortunate to be around the beneficiary of some very poor free throw shooting by the Jaspers, but to their credit, they hung in there and became assertive, got excellent bench play, especially from their big men. And a nice win. It was chalk up that win to perseverance for Manhattan. They're going to be shooting free throws tomorrow morning early. Really a shame to lose a ball game from the free throw line, but that's certainly where it was.
Rutgers finishes 31 for 45 from the line. Manhattan 18 for 43. They missed 25 free throws. Rutgers